California is facing a monumental housing crisis that is forcing our neighbors out of the state and threatens our representation in Congress.
Our cities aren't building enough housing fast enough at the local level to naturally fix this problem, so the state is stepping in.
California sets housing targets for every city every 8 years, called RHNA, and they've actually been doing this since the 80s, but all of a sudden, everyone is very concerned.
The reason? Builder's remedy. Builder's remedy is a tool that ensures all local governments have a realistic general plan. All local governments have a general plan, which is a long-term legal blueprint for how the city wishes to grow and operate. One section of all general plans is the housing element, which outlines how the city is going to meet the housing needs of its residents. All these local housing elements have to be in compliance with the state's housing element, which is overseen by the state's Department of Housing and Community Development.
In past cycles, cities included unrealistic plots of land in their housing element, all while knowing that development was unlikely.
Manhattan Beach, where my grandparents live, includes the Manhattan Country Club as a site to be developed for low-income housing units in their housing element.
But that club was previously purchased for $73 million, so I think it's safe to say that there's not going to be low-income housing there.
But eventually the state caught on to tactics like these, and California's Attorney General started suing cities that operated in bad faith.
And the state made it clear that if cities didn't build the required housing and submit a realistic housing element, then the state would step in with Builder's remedy.
Taking control away from local planners and allowing developers to build effectively wherever and as tall as they want, as long as affordable units are included.
Builder's remedy lets developers bypass local zoning and general plan restrictions.
Or for the nerds, city skylines in real life.
Now, there are still some stipulations. We have to make sure that the buildings are up to code. We don't want buildings falling over or catching fire. And the developers have to make sure that the buildings aren't hazardous to communities or built on agricultural land.
But Builder's remedy ensures that we get housing one way or the other. It'll just be with a lot less community input and planning if cities don't do the right thing and meet their housing targets first. A handful of cities across the state did not create compliant housing elements in time and opened themselves up to Builder's remedy. Palo Alto was one of those cities, and no longer bound by the restrictive zoning, a developer submitted this proposal for 80 Willow Road.
Understandably, there's been some opposition to projects like these when they don't fit the overall neighborhood character and scale of the region.
Urban planning is a real thing, and ideally each city has a thoughtful plan which encourages housing to be built near transit, schools, and other local resources.
Towers that are only accessible by car don't make for the most livable city, but it's worse if we're pricing people out and not building enough housing. And sadly, that's the state of the status quo we're facing today.
San Francisco's planning department took HCD's mandate seriously, submitting a compliant housing element in 2024, then fleshing out the details and sharing the plan with communities across the city in 2025.
This plan, the Family Zoning Plan, allows taller buildings on main streets and multifamily units in single-family neighborhoods.
The Planning Commission will vote to make these changes through the Family Zoning Plan on September the 11th, and the Board of Supervisors must give final approval by the end of the year.
It's great to see San Francisco facing the housing crisis head-on, but with Builder's remedy, the state is ready to step in if they stumble.
District 9 Neighbors is in support of the Family Zoning Plan, but we want the city to go further and include Bernal Heights. Bernal is a well-resourced neighborhood with parks, transit, and lively main streets that we want to share.
Our neighborhood has been left out of rezoning for decades, meaning we've preserved exclusionary single-family home zoning in 75% of our community. And that's led to the displacement of low-income Black and brown communities for far too long. If we don't take action now, we'll remain a neighborhood frozen in time, off limits to only the wealthiest home buyers. Join us in making an affordable San Francisco possible. We'll be at City Hall on September 11th at 11 a.m. to rally in support of the Family Zoning Plan.
If you want more information about the rally, you can find that information on our website, and we hope to see you there.